have like bad attention. I thinking that I thought that the hairstyle is very cool. I'm saying I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together, let me find. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your love.
Hey guys, it's Bree here. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So, a few of my Discord members brought to my attention that Blackpink's Lisa has apparently apologized for cultural appropriation during a fan call, so I actually checked out her apology and I wanted to make this video to kind of discuss her apology and just the issue as a whole. But before we get into it, I just want to make a very quick disclaimer. Yes, I am a black K-pop fan, but black people are not monolithic. I'll be giving my personal opinion on this issue and on Lisa's apology, but I'm not speaking for all black K-pop fans. This is just my opinion. If you're not black especially, don't take my opinion and run with it like it's the gospel. It's just my personal opinion and that's it. Also, if topics like this bother you, if you can't take honesty, I just suggest that you click off the video and keep it moving. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you didn't already know, if you've been living under a rock in the K-pop world, Lisa recently released her solo debut called La Lisa. She released 2 tracks, the first one being La Lisa, which is her name, and the second track being Money. So Money has more of a hip-hop feel than La Lisa does. I actually like both tracks. When I heard Money, I initially thought, oh, this is different. It reminded me of something that like maybe Rihanna would do back in the day. It was surprising. I liked it, to be honest. However, Lisa did get some backlash when the teaser photo for the Money performance video was released. In the picture, Lisa has her signature bangs, but her hair is pulled up into a ponytail, and it's a braided ponytail. So right away when this picture was released, a lot of people were like, oh, is this cultural appropriation? Some people were saying it was, people were saying it's box braids, and a lot of people were pretty much dragging Lisa. This isn't the first time that Lisa has had a braided hairstyle. When Kill This Love was released, Lisa had braids and some people were defending her, claiming they were tie braids. So it was pretty much like that situation all over again. My initial reaction was, okay, she has this braided ponytail. I didn't really consider it to be box braids because box braids are attached at the scalp with box or triangle shaped parts or sections, but at the same time I was like, okay, this is walking a very fine line. Lisa releases a song that's about partying and twerking and flexing, like talking about your money, talks about dollars being thrown on her ass, twerking, just it's like that type of song. So it's a hip-hop song, hip-hop concept, right? And then Lisa has a hairstyle that's similar to a stereotypical black hairstyle, right? So even though I wasn't really offended, I was like, okay, this isn't really necessary. She's obviously only doing this hairstyle because it's a hip-hop concept. And I don't know. I was like, it's just not necessary to me. The hairstyle didn't even look good, but I wasn't losing any sleep over it. I never do with cultural appropriation. I'm a millennial. I've been into K-pop since 2nd gen, so issues of cultural appropriation are nothing new to me. If I was angry anytime there was a cultural appropriation scandal, like, I would be angry all the time. Like, nobody has time for that. But if anyone else was offended by it, that's fine. I wasn't mad, I wasn't offended, but I was like, okay, this isn't really necessary. It was just that type of thing, right? So anyway, the performance video was released. She actually had that same hairstyle in the performance video, of course, because it was pre-recorded way before the teaser photo was released. And people were still kind of buzzing and talking about the issue. Well, today, someone posted a link in my Discord server, and apparently a fan brought up this issue to Lisa during a fan call. So I listened to her apology and I'll insert it here. I apologize because the quality is not the best, but you'll be able to get a gist of what occurred in the conversation.
I didn't know, like, I didn't have like bad attention. I thinking that I thought that the hairstyle is very cool. Yeah, that's all, but I feel so bad and like I'm very sorry for, like, you know, if, like, someone like
like they got hurt from that, from my mind. I'm so sorry that I have to like, you know, double check with everything, you know. But okay, well I'll be, you know, like 조심해요. Like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Well, thank you so much for telling me this like stuff, and I'm so sorry. Like, please tell like your friends or you know.
Thank you so much for listening.
That is.
So here's my impression of the apology. Lisa is saying she didn't know that this was offensive. She apologized multiple times. She even asked the fan to share this video with their friends. And apparently she actually extended the call. I think the fan initially only had about a minute to speak to her, but apparently the call was extended to like 6 minutes. So that tells me that Lisa was really interested in what the fan was saying about the issue, and she could have just quickly, you know, cut the call and move on to the next person, but allegedly Lisa actually told the staff that she wanted to continue with the conversation. I don't know if this fan was black, but good on her for bringing it up to Lisa, letting her know. I think Lisa should know if she didn't already know. As far as the apology, to me it seemed sincere. I mean, of course I can't read Lisa's mind, but to me it seemed genuine. Like I said, she extended the call, she apologized. She said that she didn't know. She said that she felt bad that people were potentially hurt by the styling. And she also said that she needs to be more careful in the future. I mean, I wouldn't ask for anything else as far as an apology. I think she handled the situation really, really well. Like I said, she could have completely brushed over this and cut it off. So some people are still kind of dragging Lisa. Some people are saying they're not happy with the apology, that it was a bare minimum, and saying that she should have done a public apology. But my thing is this: she did encourage the fan to share the video with her friends that were hurt, etc. And let's be real, this is YG we're talking about. Lisa is signed to YG. Think about all the incidences of cultural appropriation in the past. YG rarely apologizes for anything unless it's something that offends Korean fans. That's pretty much all they care about, even though Blackpink is an international group. For example, think back to the How You Like That music video. There was a scene where Lisa was sitting on this chair and there was a statue of a Hindu god Ganesha on the floor. YG did edit that out, but they never apologized. So that goes back to my point. Do you really think that YG would apologize for Lisa wearing a stereotypical black hairstyle? I don't think so, right? And even if Lisa herself wanted to make a public apology, I doubt that YG would do that because they don't care, and that's not something that they feel that is important to address. That might seem messed up, but that's how it is. There are plenty of instances of YG's artists wearing like black hairstyles, whether it's cornrows, dreads, etc. in the past, and K-pop in general, not just YG. So I think Lisa did the best with the opportunity she was offered. Someone told her that what she did offended some people, and she apologized in a genuine manner, in my personal opinion. So now what? So Lisa apologized. She said she would be more careful in the future. I think now what we have to do is wait and see. Like I said, this isn't the first time that Lisa has had a hairstyle that has offended some people. So now I guess all we can do is wait and see if it happens again. I don't really know how much agency Lisa has as far as styling, but I would hope to believe that, being that she's in Blackpink, which is YG's probably biggest moneymaker right now, if she really didn't feel comfortable with a particular style, that she would be able to say, hey, I don't want to do this and this is why, can you style me in a different way instead? I would hope she would have enough power to say that. So now we know for a fact that she does know it was brought to her attention. So I would say if a situation like this happens with Lisa again, then we would probably want to side-eye her a little bit and question whether her apology was genuine. But then again, maybe it could be a situation where she didn't have say in styling. I don't know, right? When somebody apologizes, they're holding themselves accountable, right? But We have to see if that carries on in their actions. So that's all we can do. As far as cultural appropriation though, I really do think there are levels to this, and I'm just speaking on my personal opinion as a black person with cultural appropriation of black culture. There are levels to it, right? Okay, so Lisa is doing a hip-hop concept. She's wearing a stereotypically black hairstyle. That's one thing. Now, if Lisa was wearing this hairstyle and saying the N-word and just doing a lot of crazy, negative, stereotypically black behavior, you know, stereotypes, negative stereotypes that people might associate with black people, then I would really be offended, because I would be like, oh, okay, you're straight up mocking black people, right? There are levels to it, so that's why I'm saying the hairstyle itself really didn't bother me that much. That's just me, my personal opinion. If she did something that was straight up like mocking or offensive to black culture, then I would be more upset. But I think we need to remember that when we're talking about quote unquote canceling people, which this whole stan culture trend of just being hyper aware of everything that idols do, or just being overly offended for like 5 days and then just forgetting about it, it's just really getting old. I think some people like being outraged about things, even if it's not that serious of an issue. If you're offended by Lisa's hairstyle, like, I totally like understand that. You have every right to be, but I think there's a fine line between, you know, maybe being offended and going around calling Lisa racist and saying you hate her and sending death threats and all that. That's just my opinion. I think if you're offended by someone, if you don't vibe with an idol because of something they've done, just stop supporting them. Just to close, I do applaud Lisa for apologizing. I do think that she did the right thing in that situation by extending the call and really talking to the fan about the issue. And I think we'll have to see what happens with Lisa in the future. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this situation in the comments. Do you think Lisa handled the situation properly? Also, what are your opinions on some of the backlash that Lisa received for the styling? I definitely love to hear your thoughts, but remember to be kind and respectful in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more multi-fandom K-pop content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!